Yo, what is going on, people? Thank you for tuning in. This is Killer B, ready for another good game, I hope. This, I was told, is a very nice set of games between Viper and DauT versus Liereyy and Hearttt. We're going to start off with just doing one of these games, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, DauT is still probably getting back on the horse. I've been a little bit away from AOC for a little bit, but yeah, you can see his score is a little low. He's just getting back in form. It's going to take some time. DauT has been a little bit away from the game, took a little break, I suppose. Here he'll be playing with the Viper. Both of these guys coming in at lower team game rating than both Liereyy and Hearttt. Liereyy and Hearttt play a ton together. They're really, really strong together, but also they're both very, very strong players. Lierey's climbing up the 1v1 ladder as we speak, so keep an eye on that guy if you haven't already been keeping an eye on him. Anyway, enough about the, chitter chatter and convincing you that these are good players. You know that. We'll start off here with DauT. It's going to be Koreans v Goths on Arabia here. 2v2 games played on Vubli at the end of January. It looks like DauT will have 7 on sheep early because he's still probably waiting to figure out where in the heck he's going to take wood. Early on, my looking at his map early on suggests that the wood lines are, they're not that great. This one has a huge pond in it. That's not going to be the greatest wood line to start off with. There is one here on the back. It's rather far from the TC, but that's where he's going to have to go. No big deal. That's actually a decent wood line. It's a little far if he does have to retreat, but it's not that bad. It's also close to his gold, so maybe he can create a safe zone in this back corner. Yeah, we'll see. DauT just scouting around, finding his resources, finding those sweet sheep. Looks like one boar up to the top. The other should not be an issue either. Both going to be easy boar lures. Looks like he's got a couple of relics really close to him. Might not be a factor here in this game, but it is kind of cool. Relatively open map, dry Arabia, not a whole lot of wood. Both stone piles for DauT on the front, so if he wants to go castles and war wagons, he's going to need a castle somewhere defensively on that hill, I would think, early on. But he's got a long way to go before that happens. He's very close to his teammate Viper. Viper here is going to be playing as Goths. Viper will also have back gold. He'll also have a nice, good back wood line. Looks like for now he's taken wood way off into the corner of the map almost. Not the corner, but quite far from his TC. Orville's on wood early. Could see a drush from both Koreans and Goths. Looks like Viper is at least going to keep open the option of going for a drush here. On DauT's side, we will also see 4 on wood, so it wouldn't surprise me at all to see both of these players drush. Looks like for the moment, Viper's luring in boars. His stones are also kind of out a little bit in no man's land. This is by no means a wallable map, at least not from what I can see. Looks pretty darn open for both he and DauT, and that should spell maybe an interesting and exciting game. Liereyy and Hearttt playing a ton together. I love these guys. Have a Uberman crush on this team. Go Liereyy, go Hearttt. They play a little defensively in a lot of circumstances that I've seen them play. We'll see if they go for some early walling or team walling. They may not have a good opportunity to do that. Lierey's actually going to have a really nice bit of structure to the south of his base, and quite a decent structure here. Does have to wall that pond. Should be able to block one flank. Back gold is going to be on a hill. 4 on wood early for Liereyy. He's playing as Koreans, so we have Koreans v Goths on the bottom, and Goths v Koreans on the top. Backstone is going to be a little different than his opponent's map, so maybe backstone, back gold is a little bit better, and a back wood line then maybe a little better than Viper's map. Viper's wood line here is a little troublesome. It's just so far from the TC. If he gets raided there, it's almost like you have to take a fight. You know, if you, for instance, scouts or a drush or something like that, you can't really run to the TC. Viper's saying that he can't wall. Oh my gosh, the Viper here is not paying attention. What's going on here? Oh boy, that's really surprising. Yeah, villager that was loomed. Dying to the boar. Viper maybe thinking a little... Oh no, that's a huge mistake. Oh god. We saw that boar on super low HP. Villager came over to shoot it twice to get its attention, and he killed the poor thing. Shot him right in the eyeball. You guys saw it. Viper's going to adapt, and he's going to come over and take that boar with villagers, but that is... that's going to slow him down quite a lot. -1 Vil and taking a boar this far... granted, it's relatively close to the mill, but still, it's that's a lot to come back from here. And he is up against Liereyy, who really plays very well against the Viper. Certainly not a player who cowers. Oh my gosh, while we were looking away, Lierey's lost a Vil. There is a villager corpse here. What in the heck? We got to look at everybody's base now. You just never know, I guess. 2 of the top pro players in the game will both lose a villager to a boar right off. Maybe that's like some challenge that they agreed upon. That is really, really crazy. But Liereyy at least got to drop both of his boars under the TC. That's a big deal. I mean, the Vipers, this is annoying. This is really inefficient for him, and it's going to waste a lot of time. We'll see what he ends up going up to the feudal age on. DauT will go up to the feudal age on 21, so he's not drushing. Looks like he's going to go up first. We see one Vil taking gold here for the Goths player Hearttt. He probably will be drushing, taking that extra 10 gold. You can also see that he's building up a bit of structure. Heartt's got his main stone on the front. He's got some gold in his back pocket to work with. Dry Arabia woodlines suck for him. But all in all, I think he's going to try to defend himself by walling this front area. And probably will continue to wall himself as he goes. Hearttt really does like to wall up, so does Liereyy, and I anticipate them doing the best that they can to cover this map. Anyway, for now, we will see the 2 bottom players minus a Vil. Liereyy has clicked up. He's going to click up on 21, so both Koreans players going up on 21. Looks like for now, the Viper on 23, Heartt's on 24, about probably 3/4 of a villager ahead. Looks like the Viper will click up on 23, which is kind of interesting. Hearttt will click up on 24 at exactly the same time. So there you go. The 1 villager difference will give the Viper less resources to work with when he hits the feudal age. It looks like Liereyy will sacrifice a little bit of time. He's going to still go up on 21, just like DauT, but he's just going to be up a little bit later. So DauT here might have a moment to seize the initiative. 3 Vils, 4 Vils on gold early, which is kind of surprising to this caster. Has to be an archery range, I would have to guess. Drush is coming. I'm sure that's not going to surprise DauT. Unfortunately, his archery range here is, he's going to have to either quick wall, he's going to have to do something. Lierey's, Heartt's scout is already there. DauT has to delete his range, and he's trying to quick wall up this side, but he's not really doing it properly, and he's going to probably be denied his other archery range as well. This Vil should live, I would think, but man, this is just going terribly for DauT so far. That is really the opposite of what you're trying to do with a fast feudal. The drush from Hearttt is pretty darn effective, but you know, DauT really, if he was going to drop this range, he really could have quick walled in the first Vils. He wasn't quite fast enough. He could have quick walled in the second. I think there was enough time, but you know, he's a little rusty. It's all good. He's still a heck of a lot faster than me. Anyway, so looks like DauT will come back to gold. He'll be a little bit befuddled for a moment. He is going to go double ranges at some point, but definitely a drush from Hearttt that has already paid off. He's probably going to kill a spearman. He may be able to get DauT's scout, but even if he gets nothing, this has paid off. Let's see, scout on the top going 1v1. Might as well check it out and see. Anybody want to place bets on who dies first? Looks like this Vil is going to win the day. Just barely. I think that, no, he's not. Wow, Heartt's going to end up killing that Vil. Scout came in on about 3/4 HP, but was able to get the job done, and that's really bad for DauT. DauT losing a Vil, losing a lot of time, and losing a lot of energy. He's going to have double range archers, and he's going to need to get something done. He's absolutely going to need to get something done to get back in this game. Anyway, Viper with 2 on gold. At the moment, he is scouting around. He's finding that Liereyy is stonewalling his side. Lierey's also blocked off the pond and the front of his area. He's going to go double range archers. No big surprise there. Seems to have, should have the gold eco to support it soon, and may be able to take some stones safely within his walls. Red player here is looking like he's going to be in really good shape to play a little defensively. Looks like the Viper will go skirms immediately. Not exactly sure how good his scouting is, but that's absolutely the right call against a player who's going double range archers. Yeah, Viper can see those double ranges, so it seems like a wise choice. The drush is still being cleaned up. DauT did lose his scout, and that is just catastrophic. So difficult to win a game when your opponent's drush kills a Vil, denies an archery range, actually denied 2 archery ranges for a little while, and takes your scout. That's a really, really good drush there. Anyway, so we'll see Hearttt, I think, with a pretty major advantage on his opponent, DauT. But DauT may be having an opportunity to get something done here soon. I think that Lierey's map is a little bit better than the Viper's, so it's going to be an uphill climb, I think, for the Viper and DauT here. Viper's got a couple counter units camping out on some of the main, most important parts of his base. At the moment, he's got a bit more gold than maybe he needs. He is going double range skirm, so he's taken vills off of gold, and he's just focusing on building up the food and wood eco, I suppose. Hearttt at the moment not going to be floating any resources at all. He's going double range skirmishers. So nothing too surprising there. What is kind of surprising is that DauT's initial army retreated. They're going to be hanging out on top of this hill. Archers with no upgrades. That's kind of a bummer. I think he probably would want to have +1 by now. But hey, it is what it is. Resources may not be available to do so. DauT here needs to get something done with this army offensively at some point. But his opponent is already forward with skirms. So Hearttt maybe is going to... maybe going to be in a really good position here. We'll see. Team walling is going to occur here soon. You can see the red player already Xing this area, talking to his teammate about where they're going to meet with the team wall. They're going to be really, really safe because the Viper here has gone skirms and DauT is still defending himself. Interestingly, in the meanwhile, while we were looking away, the red player is thinking offensively here. He's going to sneak his archers in here and kill 3 vills at least, maybe a 4th. Probably not a 4th. Looks like this vill is probably going to make it. But the scout from Liereyy is going to give it the old college try. Looks like 3 vills, I believe that was. Sorry, I lost count. But pretty good little attack from the red player. He doesn't need his archers. They're not going to help him fight his nearest opponent, the Viper here. Viper's got too many skirms. So Liereyy there making what I think is a really good choice. He's going to hit the player that is a little more vulnerable to the unit that he has. Green player is still here keeping DauT very, very honest. This amount of skirms with +1/+1 is a pretty nasty thing to deal with when you only have archers. Red player Liereyy is going all in at the moment against Viper skirms. He's just going to go ahead and try to rush them down. If he had his scout, which he just gave up to try to take another vill on the other side, he'd be in probably a lot better shape in this fight. But why live in an alternate universe? There is no scout, bro. Just let it go. Looks like 1 vill will go down. Viper is going to have most of his skirms alive. Both vills. 1 vill aggro against this low HP skirm, but potentially the Viper could get another one. Could get another villager here from the red player. At the moment, 40 vills for Hearttt. He seems to be out ahead of everybody. Viper's on 37, just 29 for DauT, 34 for Liereyy. Lierey's in a really good spot. Lierey's in a good spot there you go, villager goes down, right as I say that. But he is 3 villagers ahead of the other Koreans player. Hearttt is 3 villagers ahead of Viper. 6 villager difference between the two teams. For those of you who can't add, I'll do it for you. That's a pretty major difference. Anyway, let's look around the horn real quick. We will see Liereyy trying to gather up some food if he wants to click to castle. DauT just needs food, but he needs a lot. Viper needs quite a lot of food as well. Hearttt at the moment does not seem to have any gold eco. We saw him going double range skirms. He has not switched into gold gathering mode. He's going to just be building farms and taking wood. Looks like he's just now going to head over to gold. Notably, Hearttt is not walled in, so it's not as though he's going to be able to turtle up. He and his teammate will soon have a team wall across the center of the map. But the far top part of the map is pretty open. Green player is not too worried about that because he's still got skirms inside of DauT's base. DauT here is playing very defensively. He's kind of hanging around at home to defend against these skirms, which is fine, but he really can't even fight that army because his archers are very, very well countered. I hope that he will sneak that army out at some point. DauT playing very, very defensively. Granted, his map is pretty open, and he is pretty far behind, but I'd love to see him go forward at this point. Who cares what you'd love to see, Killer B? I'd love to see a lot of things. I would love to see a lot of things. Anyway, we won't get into weird things that Killer B would like to see. We'll get into what's going on in this game. There's like groups of 4 or 5 skirms everywhere on the map. Viper's got a group of 4 or 5 here. Heartt's got a group of 4 or 5 there. Those are a little hard to keep track of. One group that's of interest is Lierey's group that's raiding. Another group that's of interest here is the Viper, who's taking on Lierey's couple of skirms, mostly archers. So Viper in a pretty good spot to keep the middle open, telling his teammate that it's still open. Rest is stonewalled, says Viper. Yeah. The only difficulty here for Liereyy and Hearttt is if they don't finish the stone wall, either in the center or on the top, it's probably going to be open season on the green player's base. We'll see. Right now, Hearttt has a good-sized military, 20 units. It's been forward forever, and DauT is hopefully sneaking some units around. Yes, DauT has finally snuck out with those archers, and he's going to immediately get 2 vills for free. I mean, maybe even 3? 3 vills. Love it. So yeah, I mean, you know, you can't just sit around and wait for these skirms to... You can't even take a fight against these skirms, so I'm glad he got out. He's doing some damage. Looks like DauT is trying to poke into the green player's base. Maybe he could join up with the Viper in the south if they had Carto. Maybe that's what they would do. But at the moment, it seems like the Viper is going whole hog against Liereyy. Not even sure what that means, but he's doing it. He's doing it, guys. Let's see. Castle Age clicked up by both Liereyy and Hearttt at almost exactly the same time. Talk about Thunder buddies. Talk about 2 bros who are in sync. Yeah, that's right. They are in sync. Anyway, it looks like DauT for the moment will not be clicking up. Let's see what his resources look like. Looks like the blue player will be waiting on some food for probably quite some time. I'm sure he has a huge farming eco, but he's built a lot of skirmishers here. Built a lot of skirms, and he's been playing this one a couple villagers behind. That's really going to catch up to him here. Going to make his castle time very, very, very slow. Anyway, scale barding coming for Hearttt. DauT's player is going to build a couple of knights, one would think, in the Castle Age. He's going to have 1 stable at the moment. Knights are a very viable unit as DauT's, especially early Castle Age. I don't know how deep you really want to go into them. I do know how deep you want to go into them. If you're me, it's not very deep. But a couple of them early on here in the Castle Age can really be a game changer, especially when you have an opponent across from you like the Viper, who's going really full skirm all game so far. A couple of knights here would really clean up these entire armies, so I think it's going to work out very well. Viper on his side will go gold mining for now. Heartt's grabbing bloodline, so he's going to continue to beef up those knights. Viper here might continue to build... he's not building units from the ranges. He's not upgrading anything that I saw. Let's see. He will have quite a lot of food and quite a lot of gold. Player 3 has armor, and he's doing knights. Sorry, guys. I don't have a page up button. I don't have a keyboard over here. Man, Killer B is running it pretty ghetto these days. Scale mail armor coming for the Viper as we speak. Okay, so that's going to tip his hat a little bit for us. He was taking quite a bit of gold on top while I wasn't really paying attention. And he'll drop a defensive castle for now. So the Viper for now will go a little defensively. He's going to need to buy himself a little bit of time, get that castle up, and I think I know what he's going to do. But why spoil it? Scale mail armor might be a good hint for you. Anyway, Elite Skirm on the way. The wall is still not closed for the green and red player, the Christmas team, if you will. Elite Skirm has come in for Hearttt. Pretty obvious choice when you have this many of a unit. Going to be able to start killing vills with 1 shot, I would think, with a group that big. Should be pretty easy. DauT here is still having to camp under his TC. He's just absolutely, totally countered. He's drawing dead, I guess. The poker players would, they wouldn't say that. That's lame. But yeah, he really doesn't have any good options at the moment. He's going to get raided. He's going to try to, you know, throw some arrows down from this watchtower. But do these elite skirms really care that much? Not really. They're going to just go ahead and clean up most of DauT's army. DauT may not have an army back at home by the time he gets to castle. We'll see. Hearttt for now roaming around. Does look like he is... Yeah, he's got some of the upgrades, so at the moment he's going to be ahead of his opponent by quite a lot. Anyway, the last dregs of Lierey's army is taking a weird fight. Where is Liereyy at? Liereyy at the moment is going to have 5 military, so he's been saving some resources. I wonder if this is going to be like a fast imp or something for him. Oh, he's got forward oh no, that's in the back of his base. Okay, castle and war wagon up there for the Koreans player. So he's been kind of using his team's advantage to be able to build a couple of war wagons. War wagons are a slow unit to get on their feet, but when you're ahead like he and his teammate are, I think it's probably a good call. A couple Huskarls coming out for the Viper. Those units will be really, really, really effective versus skirmishers for sure. Couple of knights on the field, probably for the green player. At least one there trying to roam forward and see what he can find. Looks like for now Hearttt will be regrouping and not a whole lot going on the map, at least as far as villagers dying. There's chaos though. Been chaos all game. We've seen 3 or 4 unit groups from the Viper, from Liereyy and from Hearttt going in every direction. DauT here has been keeping his units together, but it really hasn't served him very well. Anyway, it looks like a couple Huskarls from the Viper will be very, very helpful. They will meet shield quite a bit of damage, while DauT can throw damage in from a distance with those skirms and a couple of archers. Anyway, Viper roaming in with some elite skirms on the bottom. He's going to be met by war wagons. He probably expects this, but he's going to see it for sure here in just a second. He's going to know for absolutely certain that his opponent is going war wagons. He's going to tell his teammate, which is the wise thing to do, of course. And for the moment, we see knights probably going to be... this is going to be a decent fight. Knights here probably are not going to want to get too deep into this. Quite a few Huskarls from the Viper should deter them. Crossbowman is in for DauT, Thumbring on the way. So what I was trying to get to is that looks like Liereyy and Hearttt are still open. The Viper has invested a lot of military in making sure that this doesn't get closed. Hearttt is also open to the north of his base. I suppose if we look on DauT's point of view, we can see that he has scouted that area. So you can return there. You can pull a general patent and he shall return. Maybe he's going to return there now with the Viper helping him out with a couple of Huskarls. Anyway, Bosaw coming in for DauT. For the moment, it looks like Hearttt is going to go Husbandry, Iron Casting. He's going to continue to beef up these knights. Pretty beefy knights. Bloodlines with +1/+2. Looks like he's ready to take a fight here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe it was 8 or 9 knights jumping into the fray. And they're going to win the day there pretty easily. They are going to win the day there pretty easily. Overwhelming numbers get you much, much better trades, and that's going to go down for free. The Viper can't really run away with these Huskarls anymore. They're just not fast enough to run from knights, so he's going to have to take that fight, at least with a few of them, and they are also going to be toast for very cheap. Huskarls not having a whole lot of defense versus knights. They are not going to last terribly long. Okay, war wagons starting to come forward here for Liereyy. Yeah, there you go. Expect villagers to come along with those war wagons to drop a castle. It looks like he may have already done that. Yep, here it is, coming out on top of the hill. So he'll continue to take over some map control. The second castle here is in a really great position. Cuts off this corridor. Really does protect a lot of the map. And we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he will wall behind it, but maybe he doesn't need to wall this particular area. A couple more castles a little bit further out, and he and his teammate can trade their advantage for a little more map control. Anyway, war wagons will roll right into the back of Viper's eco. A couple of Huskarls there, not really the fight that they want to take. Looks like Viper will drop a TC on the back. Villager counts for the moment, oh sweet Jesus, it's going to be about 162 by the looks of it for Liereyy and Hearttt. It's going to be 135 for the Viper and DauT. So Viper and DauT here behind by whatever that difference is. 27, I will guess. I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's been a long day. Anyway, it does look like Liereyy and Hearttt are going to run away with this game at this point. The Viper and DauT have a couple things that could go well for them. The fact that their opponents are still open is at least a good thing. Viper's army of Huskarls here is really going to be very strongly countered by the knights. War wagons also not the worst unit against Huskarls, so those are going to be really tough to keep alive. Viper's only got 14. DauT at the moment has 25 units. He's got crossbows coming forward. He's got a couple of spears along with them and a monk and maybe a couple of monks so that he can hit the green player while he's away. Problem is that both Liereyy and Hearttt are here and they are forward and they're ready to maybe make a little bit of a push on DauT. DauT here has been the low man all game. He's way behind on villagers. He does have a good sized military, but it's a relatively low quality military. Crossbowmen are, they're decent. They're a good unit, but they're very cheap. It's not as though he has an army of knights that he can run across the map quickly and do something fancy with. It looks like red and green players, Liereyy and Hearttt, will go ahead and pincer this army of crossbows, and those guys are toast. +2, +1 crossbows, hey, not too bad. Upgraded, nice unit, but absolutely caught out in the open. by overwhelming numbers and by really units with better upgrades, especially those knights. So that's going to go down pretty quickly. Blue player is going to be cooked. Imperial Age coming in for Liereyy. Yeah, Viper and DauT are going to have to do something really impressive. The Viper here on 76 Vils. He's on 3 or 4 TCs. I believe it's 4 TCs for him. Just trying to find a way to keep his team relevant. But the investment in Huskarl has not really paid off a lot yet. Hearttt transitioned away from... He did go Elite Skirm, and I think he should have because he had so many. He basically threw those Elite Skirms directly into DauT's base. He took a ton of arrow fire, and that whole army got cleaned up. But he traded them for villagers while he could, and that really made it a little bit of a moot point when the Viper went Huskarls. Viper's got Huskarls still streaming out. He's building quite a lot of them. He's going to go cartography. He's going to go foraging. He's going to probably see what DauT is doing on his side and maybe think about if he has to GG. Look at this, though. Castle drop here coming from the green player Hearttt. Hearttt is going to maybe finish that. He's got quite a few knights nearby. He doesn't... maybe with his teammate, yeah, with the war wagons here, he may be able to win this fight. Looks like the Huskarl numbers are starting to dwindle. They will be really the only line of defense here. There's only 7 or 8 crossbows total. With 5 war wagons I'd rather have in a fight than 7 or 8 crossbows. Knights will end up winning the day. There is a spear or 2 going to be out on the field, but I think this castle might go up relatively soon. Liereyy getting really, really greedy with that. Hearttt getting a little greedy. Certainly could have tried to take this hill. That would have been a fantastic position. But he's just going to go ahead and put the nail in the coffin. This gold pile is going to be under some serious duress here in a moment. War wagons camping out on the hill. Liereyy and Hearttt in a great position to probably be able to win this. Red player still streaming forward Vils. He's going to double castle that center area. Can't blame him. That's a really important part of the map. Taking stone like a madman. Looks like blue player did get cleaned up. DauT's army that was forward is dead. Right now, all 4 players are fighting for this part of the map. Castle goes up about another 20 or 25%, but still denied for now. And actually, those Vils are going to get chewed up and spit out. So the Viper will be able to grab some Vils there with husks, but he and his teammate are definitely in some trouble. They're in some hot water, baby. Looks like the monk there did not grab a conversion. And Viper is saying, I think we deed. Deed is Norwegian for dead. I learned that while in Sweden. Anyway, DauT saying, you think? I think DauT might have just used sarcasm. Love it, love it. Well, this one looks like it's going to go to Liereyy and Hearttt. They might be in a little bit better shape, especially maybe better than the shape that DauT is in at the moment. But hey, man, we know how high DauT's ceiling is. We know how high the Viper's ceiling is. These guys are really the best of the best of the best, sir. So we'll see these guys certainly continue to up their game. DauT here will definitely not be at 1845 if we check back in a few weeks, especially if he's playing and focusing on playing the game. 2 legends of the game here will go down to a couple of sexy new guys on the scene. That's right, I call them sexy. It's not as though they're new. You can't be 2.1K and be new. But really the last year, it's been exciting to see Liereyy and Hearttt. Yeah, maybe 6 months, these guys playing together. Seem to really have a good thing going, so props to them. They get a pretty clean win. I think either of them, both of them were ahead of their opponent for almost the entire game. Viper losing a Vil early to a boar, also taking a boar way out away from the TC. Liereyy losing a Vil early to a boar to make it somewhat fair. But in the end, it was a pretty clean sweep by Liereyy and Hearttt. They never did finish the team wall, but they didn't need it. They were on the offensive all game. Yeah, that will do it here for this one. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Somebody give me some feedback if you want to see more 2v2 action. I think we're going to try to put out 1 video a day this month. So please join us if you are so inclined. We will be, I'll be cranking out the content, and I certainly want to keep it fun. Try some different settings here over the next couple days. Anyway, cheers. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Killer B. Catch you later. Bye.